Let's get to the figures. The Truffle 100 in aggregated numbers is definitely a major industry. It's a $20 billion revenue industry. We have an industry that employs a lot of people. Over 148,000 qualified employees work for the top 100 software vendors in Europe. This industry is led by world-class national champions. SAP in Germany, Sage, also Mises in the UK, Business Objects, Dassault Systèmes in France, Unit4 Aggresso in the Netherlands, just to mention a few. It's a very fast-growing industry. It's not a new industry, but it's a fast-growing industry. 15%, and 15% is a lot. We all wish the global economy was growing by 15% a year. Its profits are growing too. It's a profitable industry. We've aggregated 2.8 billion euros in profits. It's a net tax contributor to European countries. And its profits are growing rapidly, 35% year on year between last year and the year before. This industry has a privileged access to capital markets. 83% of the top 100 vendors are quoted, are publicly traded. I don't think many industries can match that. If we get into the picture into more detail, then we can see that it is, under certain aspects, a fairly concentrated industry. The top three represent more than half of total sales, aggregated sales. The top 50, the first half, represent 90% of the sales. And the Truffle 100 is just a fraction of the 18,000 vendors that we estimate are in Europe. This concentration pattern is not unfamiliar. It's not just for Europe. It's the case in almost every country. If we zoom in on one particular country, we'll end up with a number 100, somewhere between 0.5 and 3 million euros, depending on the country. For the big countries, for example in France, we'll be below 3 million euros for the number 100, as opposed to 20 million euros on a European scale. So this pattern, we could call it a long tail pattern, because all these small vendors represented on an aggregated figure a very significant market force, also very dynamic and with very impressive growth potential. The industry obviously faces strong challenges. One of the challenges is it remains behind the American industry. It's still dominated. The Truffle 100 aggregated would be only second to Microsoft. Microsoft in euros is 35 billion euros. In growth, it's not really catching up. Growth rate of 15% is impressive, but some of the biggest vendors have even more impressive growth rates. So these are very strong challenges, and we believe it is key to address these challenges, as the Truffle 100 and the software vendors represent a key R&D firepower. 37,000 people are employed in R&D. Total R&D investments are even more than total profits. above $2.7 billion. It's 2.7 billion euros, sorry. Last year only. To rephrase that in political terms, we believe this industry is certainly one of the biggest and the most efficient, not only self-funded, but net tax contributor are the investor and job creator in Europe. With this preliminary conclusion, I'm happy to let Jean-Pierre Brulard make his own conclusions.